What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is going to be the Secret Service's insane tactics. You guys wanted to see this one. It popped up in the White House's security features, which was mind-blowing in itself. Like, it's pretty much impossible for your average Joe just to rock up and be able to get into it or even penetrate any of it. Like, it was mind-blowing. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. But you guys wanted to see this one, the Secret Service insane tactics. It's going to be mind-blowing, I imagine. Like, what we saw in the White House, what we've seen the lengths they go to protect this is the main man we're talking about. At least with the president, we can see Trump on there. Obviously, Biden is now. This video was created a while ago. But I'm keen to see the little tactics they have, how far they actually go. I hope you guys also. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell while you're at it. I'd seriously appreciate it. And let's check out the insane Secret Service tactics. Let's go.
When you're the president of the most powerful nation on earth, and you have a divisive, often combative approach to leading the country...
What do you mean? Everyone loved Trump. It weren't controversial. I'm not getting into that.
Every waking moment is a potential threat. In order to keep the president safe, we have the Secret Service, and they're labeled secret for a reason. Their expert tactics in threat prevention and threat response are as important as any job in existence. They'll scan for imminent danger, eat his food, and even carry around bags of his blood. Stay tuned for all the details of these defensive tactics. They really are.
Yeah, that. Did it say that was a movie at the bottom?
Stay tuned.
Yeah, Universal Pictures. That's a movie. I was going to say, like, there's no way that got
all the details of these defensive tactics. They really are unbelievable. As we dive into the classified world of the Secret Service, let's make one thing unquestionably clear. They are watching you. And if they want to, they can track you down. It's a pretty intimidating thought, but it's reality. Sure, we have our cell phones and our laptops, but even if we go totally off-grid, they still have their ways. One of those ways is hiding in your desk drawer as we speak. That's right, a pen. Contrary to what you might think at first, the Secret Service don't have microphones installed in every single pen ever made. But what they do have is a way of analyzing ink. They have the world's largest collection of ink and work in conjunction with the country's most prominent ink manufacturers. This allows the Secret Service to maintain an enormous database of distinctive tags in the ink. Think of that like an underlying written code, and that code, those tags, can allow the Secret Service to narrow down the brand of the pen, as well as which city a letter was written in and sent from. Working in tandem with the ink analyzers, the Secret Service also has a team of dedicated handwriting experts.
Oh my god, man. Like, what? That is absolutely mental. We shouldn't be worried about phones. We shouldn't be worried about computers. They're going to track us through ink. What?
If a letter arrives on the president's desk and has so much as one threatening word on it, then the ink will be analyzed and the handwriting will be identified and stored. It's not just threatening letters addressed to the president or the upper White House staff that are under constant surveillance, but also, believe it or not, the food that the president eats. From Clinton to Bush, Obama, and now Trump, not even food can enter the office without prior inspection. Jeffrey Robertson, who wrote the book Standing Next to History, An Agent's Life Inside the Secret Service, said it perfectly. Even as a heartfelt gift, no matter how genuine the intention, quote, "If you send the president a Christmas ham, it'll never get to him." It's not just gifts from outside sources that are scoured. The Secret Service intimidatingly stared down the chefs in the White House as well to make sure there's no splash of rat poison in the president's quesarito.
And we learned in the last one, they also test food. I didn't know it didn't mention that they stared them down. Like, that must be pretty intimidating. You know, just, you know, day job, cooking away, and just a guy staring at you like, yeah, just want to make my salad, man. But even then, someone tests it as well. Like, wow.
Whenever President Obama went out to restaurants for meet and greets, he wasn't actually supposed to eat the food that was served to him. The Secret Service take the precaution that everything that they haven't seen prepared in front of their very own eyes is a potential threat.
Yeah.
Most of the time, Obama would just take a couple of smiling pictures and wait until he was home to chow down. As strict as all the food supervisions are, the president can still go ahead and order a pizza whenever he feels like it. The catch, however, is that they order it to be delivered at a different address. If the pizzeria doesn't know who the margarita is for, it reduces their chance of pouring arsenic all over it.
Unless they're having a really bad day and just want somebody to be on the end of it. Like, that'd be pretty brutal.
When you're in a position of power, threats are part of the job. No matter which political party the president falls into, there are always going to be people who disagree with the policies and agendas. So sometimes, in recent years, a little more often, people threaten the president with all kinds of frightening letters, videos, and verbal shouts from crowds. Whenever this
And it's even more nowadays, isn't it, with social media? It's such a positive and toxic and negative thing. It's mental.
happens, the Secret Service has a crucial decision to make. What happens to the person who has stepped out of line and made the threat? The first question that needs to be asked is this person serious? The Secret Service digs, they poke and they prod by interviewing everyone. Friends, neighbors, teachers, kids, associates, employees, you name it. And of course, the person in question as well. The Secret Service needs to know for sure, does this person really want to harm the president? Are they fully conscious of their words and actions, and of sound mental health? Or is this instead nothing but a sick joke? All of these questions and interviews fall under what the Secret Service refers to as protective intelligence. Once they've reached a conclusion, then they decide the punishment. Sometimes it's a warning, and that's where it ends.
So like we were just saying about the whole social media thing, do they just kind of write off most of social media as people trolling behind fake accounts and stuff like that? Or do they dig into each and every one? Let me know if you know in the comments. I know it's probably one of them subjects where it's hard to know the full details, hence why we're getting images and movies and stuff like that, because the commentators are giving us the best information they can, but I guess you don't truly know what goes on unless you're actually part of it, because it's the Secret Service. But have you got any idea about that, whether they do all this insight for people on social media, or if it is just them hand letters, or if someone's made a video statement or something like that, or obviously someone big who's made a massive statement? But I imagine you get millions of trolls, especially when Trump used to tweet on Twitter all the time. I never looked, to be honest, but I imagine there were so many trolls, awful things, saying awful things, but it's what happens nowadays, which is absolutely awful. Surely they don't look into all them. I don't know, let me know in the comments.
On other occasions, expect a psychiatric evaluation sentence. Or if the threat is genuine, then odds are they'll be charged with a Class E felony and locked up. If you've ever watched an interview where the president is out in public, you'll have recognized the sly, game-faced, impenetrable agents dressed in dark suits and even darker glasses. This unit, known as Protective Detail, is enlisted to follow and protect the president wherever they go. That means at political campaigns, in interviews, summits, meet and greets, and even if they're out for a walk around the block. The reality is that even 30 seconds without protection is a window for an attack. That's why the Protective Detail follows the current president and every president before him everywhere. Even if he needs to go to the bathroom, you can bet that he'll be escorted in there. You'll never find yourself in the stall next to the president, that's for sure. Author Jeffrey Robinson comically shared a moment of when Ronald Reagan was in office, even when he was in his most vulnerable position, getting a colonoscopy at the doctor's office. There was an agent in the room, wielding a weapon at his hip. If you're the Secret Service, everyone is considered a threat, even the doctors. We joke about bathrooms and doctors, but the reality is that assassinations are possible. We've seen proof of it. Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, and most notably, John F. Kennedy. This is why the PPD was established, which stands for Presidential Protection Division. The agents have access to bags of blood in the president's motorcade in the event a transfusion is needed. If the president
So not only are they doing all this extreme, like, protective work, which again, I completely agree with you, end of the day, for a high person, and it would be huge. Again, it's happened in the past, but it's huge to a country if that happens. Like, it just is. It's massive in an awful way as well. But the fact that they've even brought blood along, like, okay, well, if our systems fail and he does get shot or something happened to him, we've got blood, we can hopefully get him back and we'll be fine. That's mental,
The president is attacked at an event. Instead of rushing to the hospital and wasting critical minutes, they have the medical supplies on hand and can start the paramedic process as soon as possible. The PPD must also ensure that the motorcade is never more than 10 minutes away from a trauma center. In an emergency, time is of the essence. It was this rule that saved former United States President Ronald Reagan in the assassination attempt in March of 1981.
Oh, wow.
Remember the protective intelligence we spoke of earlier? Well, it extends far beyond interviewing people who have yelled abusive threats within large crowds. It extends deep into the digital world as well.
Okay. my questions are going to get answered.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that the current president's communication method of choice is Twitter. As a platform accessible to the entire world, he has become the target of many intimidating and sinister online comments. Every single threat, no matter if it's a paragraph, a video, a sour meme, or just one word, is heavily inspected by the Secret Service.
Oh, with social media, that must take up so much time. And this is one of the moments where someone's going to comment like, why you ask all your questions at the start? Just wait and see if the video answers it. You know, I get ahead of myself and I think of all these things which I think aren't going to be answered. I'm like, let me know, guys, because I want to know. Because if not, I'll forget at the end. But that is so time consuming, man. Wow. Fair play, though, for protecting him, and I rate it. But damn. Also think about the amount of money going in to track all that. So maybe think if you're tweeting abusive messages and stuff like that at the president or whether, and you're from there, you might be costing yourself money because I'm sure that only gets repaid in tax and stuff like that. So maybe I may be wrong in that, but maybe think about that. And don't send death threats or anything like to someone. It's just, it's not nice, man. It's awful.
Every tiny aspect of that person's life is investigated. They search your Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts. Look up your personal and criminal history. Check your driving record. Read your tax returns. You name it, they do it. It only takes one overlooked threatening comment for everything to crumble.
Very true.
Next up, we're looking at the ultra-skilled, ultra-secretive Water Rescue Detail. As the name suggests, this Secret Service unit is responsible for protection in and around water. Even after a presidential term ends, protection is promised. And as you can imagine, after a stressful tenure, they usually head down to relaxing places somewhere warm by the beach. That's why the highly trained water rescue detail is essential, and why they go through grueling training procedures. The trainees must pass the initial swim test of covering 800 meters in 16 minutes and be able to swim the length of a 25-meter pool underwater, holding their breath 4 separate times, with only a minute break between laps. Of the 3,200 Secret Service agents stationed around the globe, just 75 serve on the water rescue detail. A water rescue situation is far more realistic than you'd think. Former President George H.W. Bush loved boating at the family property in Kennebunkport, Maine. And Barack Obama loved to body surf in the large waves in Hawaii, where he grew up.
Oh, wow, fair play. I mean, I haven't seen an image of him ever doing that, and I can't imagine him doing it, but that looked pretty cool and fun. I've never given it a go. I definitely would. So, Obama, man, are you any good? Is he any good? Let me know.
Even the Trump family vacations on the waters of Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach.
Nice.
The president's main mode of transport, as we're sure you've seen on TV, is the motorcade. Trump travels around in a customized Cadillac limousine. And considering how many people aren't too fond of him, it's necessary that the car is able to withstand high-caliber gunfire and even an explosive device. How is this possible? Because it's covered in over 7 tons of armor. As you can tell from this illustration, it's also got a fire extinguisher, a medical kit, and more. That, friends, is why it's called the Beast. But it's not just the one limo that makes the motorcade so esteemed and impenetrable. The Beast is never alone. There's a discreet black van which holds the CAD, aka the Counter Assault Division. Just one of the dozens of vehicles that make up the motorcade. With the layers of armor and the countless extra features, each vehicle costs well over $1 million.
Wow.
When we go on vacation, stay at a hotel, or grab a drink at a cafe, we can make it a last-minute decision. When the president goes somewhere, it's another story. The Secret Service needs to scout out, in advance, every single place that the president will be visiting. They're already doing thorough sweeps of the entire area long before the president arrives. When former President Obama was visiting schools, his detail would first search the classrooms, the playgrounds, the gym, even the bathroom stalls, to make sure there wasn't any threat lurking in the shadows. Whenever a president is traveling and needs to stay at a hotel, the Secret Service team not only does a physical sweep, but a background check of all the employees as well. Any employee with a criminal record won't be allowed to be on shift.
That must suck a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I imagine being a president of any country is an incredible job. A huge honour. It means millions and millions of people voted for you to be in that position of power. You are the leader of a country. But they do have their limitations. Like, sometimes you just fancy doing something. You can't do that when you're in that high responsibility, as it's shown. Like, it does go to show, but it's not entirely rosy. But I imagine it's an incredible job, really. And I imagine anybody would be like, yeah, sign me up.
As a form of Russian combat, this violent martial art that you're seeing is called Sistema. It translates to the system and has come from the KBG and Spetsnaz. Unlike most Asian martial arts which focus on defense, Sistema is brutal, focusing on offense, and encourages doing whatever it takes to subdue an opponent while remaining calm the entire time.
Wow.
People who are trained in this unique form of combat learn how to deal with simultaneous attackers and are trained to control the attacker's levers, which are the arms, legs, and elbows.
What?
While any Secret Service agent trained in Sistema could, if they wanted to, take down a civilian and put them 6 feet under, the aim is to disarm and neutralize only.
Yep.
Which of these tactics did you find the most interesting? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thank you for checking out The Richest.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. The Secret Service found 30 million of fake money. We got maybe check that out one day. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Insanely skilled people, dedicated people. Wow, fair play. What do you guys think? It's impressive. Maybe you guys are aspiring to do that in the future. Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button. I'd seriously appreciate that. Smash that subscribe button as well. You're absolute legends. Let me know what else you want to react to in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.